Hello, thank you for joining me on the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today we're going to continue on into Matthew chapter 11. We're going to look at Matthew chapter 11, verse 11. And here Jesus is talking about John the Baptist, and he's continuing on with that in today's verse. So here we go, Matthew chapter 11, verse 11 says, "Truly I tell you, among those born of women, no one has arisen greater than John the Baptist, yet the least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he." So John the Baptist was the last of the Old Testament prophets. And one question I get a lot is, how can he be the last of the Old Testament prophets when we only read about him in the New Testament? You see, John came before Jesus to proclaim the kingdom, and yes, we read about him in the New Testament, but the ministry of John was concluded before Christ established the new covenant, with his death, burial, and resurrection, and the Last Supper, all that. John died before all that took place, so that's why he's the last of the Old Testament prophets. He was working in the Old Covenant system. So in the New Covenant, however, even the least of the New Testament saints outshines those in the Old Testament. The prophets in the Old Testament looked ahead to the New Covenant, but never shared of it fully. They didn't share in the blessings fully. And so here Jesus is contrasting the Old and New Covenants. And he does so, he doesn't do it to undermine the great life that John the Baptist led. It's just to illustrate that he didn't participate in the blessings that the New Covenant had. So the New Covenant, like I said, was established with the cross, what Jesus did for us on the cross. And John never saw that. He didn't partake in that. He never lived to see that inauguration of the New Covenant. So you and I, who participate in the New Covenant, we participate in that, in what Christ has done for us. And that's why Jesus is saying that no matter how lowly we may be, if we have faith in Christ, we're even greater than John the Baptist was, because he never got to see that in his lifetime, but we have. Well, God bless you all. Thank you for joining me on this edition of the Daily Bible Podcast. Any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at hopewithin18@gmail.com. Other than that, have a fantastic day, and God bless you.